Remember when AOC tweeted this out? The whole point of protesting is to make people uncomfortable. Activists take that discomfort with the status quo and advocate for concrete policy changes. Popular support often starts small and grows. To folks who complain protest demands make others uncomfortable, that's the point.
That doesn't sound like her.
Well, guess what? Here we have cis liberal wank fantasy model Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez setting herself up to become the hypocritical punchline she was always destined to be. Yeah. Here we are. Here we go. So this is the setup, and here's the punchline.
You refuse to call it a genocide in front of everyone.
I need you to understand.
It's not okay that there's a genocide happening. You're not actively against it.
You're lying.
I'm lying.
So they're saying she won't call. Why won't you do more? And why won't you call it a genocide? What's happening in Gaza? And you see how she gets under her skin?
You refuse to call it a genocide in front of everyone.
I need you to understand.
It's not okay that there's a genocide happening. You're not actively against it.
You're lying.
I'm lying.
You're not.
You went on TV and avoided talking about it.
But what? Because now you can't say it's a genocide. What? You're deciding a political case. If you can't call it a genocide, then how do you say it? We're not lying. No.
By the way, this is her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Whitey McWhiterman.
She's leading around like a kitty she adopted.
It's weird that she keeps saying, you're lying. Why not just have a statement? You're lying. Have a statement.
Have a statement.
Look at him taking her big red boy out of there. Give him a juice box.
Whitey McWhiterman. Could should be with a whiter guy in the world? And that's me. I'm pretty white.
You've been saying in interviews, it's insane. You haven't been calling it a genocide. Don't tell me I'm lying. Then just say it's a genocide. Just say it. Over 30,000 people are dead.
She won't say it.
You can't just say it for once. Just say the word. That's it. That's all we want you to say.
Isn't it fun to watch her walk all pissed off?
Yeah, she can't call him like
how
right
dare
wing.
you?
She can't say right wing because the guy's got a mask.
They got masks on.
First of all, when somebody has a mask, you're like, oh, we know he's not right wing.
That's right.
And then talking about genocide in Palestine, so that's like there's nothing for her to.
There's nothing to say.
I thought.
Or you're not angry about people confronting you publicly. You can't call it genocide. Over 30,000 people have died.
Stop. Okay. Stop.
She's had enough.
Oh, stop. Okay. This is like you're bombing her.
Yeah.
Stop, okay? 1,000 children have had amputations in Gaza without anesthesia. 1,000. Can you imagine having an amputation without anesthesia? 1,000 children have had that so far. And this guy is upset that you're bothering AOC.
Well, when I first saw this, I always thought he and that Prince Harry should have a biggest ginger pussy in the world contest. But it is like I didn't realize who was going at her. It's like left-wing people about Palestine. So usually her out is to say they're racist or there's something, but this one's rough. And the boyfriend, like, they're going, why don't you say genocide? Like, it's not like that. I thought the boyfriend would have like stepped in more right in the beginning, but like it is weird that she doesn't. He probably does feel bad that she doesn't call it genocide.
Yes, I bet he does. I bet he does. But she gets attacked from her left.
She knows,
and she doesn't know what to do. Okay,
I wouldn't know what to do in this situation.
We're not doing anything. We're just talking to an elected public official. That's all we're doing. That's it.
Cut it, and you're going to cut this, and you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context. I already said that it was, and y'all are just going to pretend that it wasn't over and over again. It's fucked up, man. And you're not helping these people, and you're not helping them.
You refuse to.
You're not helping them.
I'm stopping.
You're not helping them.
Honey.
Well, certainly not hurting them.
Jesus, you know what he reminds me of?
But we are annoying you. That's good.
Did you see the other guys, Will Ferrell and Marky Mark, when they're busting the Wall Street criminals and they go to the ex of Will Ferrell and the husband's like, he's yelling, you get back here and you bang my wife. Like, he reminds me of that guy, but with hair.
Come on, you guys. You're not supposed to make me uncomfortable. When I said your activists are supposed to make politicians uncomfortable, I meant other people. I didn't really mean me.
She's so mad, but that Palestine thing is really rough on her because she's like, there's no you're being right wing right now way out of this. Like, I don't think she knows what to do. I don't think she knows what to do if she can't say that.
So this guy, when he says stop, just stop. Why don't you say that? Why don't you tell that? Why don't you go say that in front of the Israeli consulate? That's where you should be saying that, not to these protesters. You should be saying it to Benjamin Netanyahu. You should be saying it to Joe Biden. You should be saying it outside the Israeli embassy. Just stop. Not to these protesters.
You know what? That I took it as like, just stop. She knows, okay? Hey, just stop. Don't you think she feels bad enough about this? That's how I took his just stop. Not as a threat.
She said she's already called it genocide, Kurt, and I think we have a better chance of finding DB Cooper than we do of footage of AOC calling this a genocide. But here she is saying something about it.
Somebody
a couple
said,
years ago, there.
What?
So remember that guy said she was a big booty Latina, and she called that genocide?
Yeah.
Was a vote in Congress for funding for the Iron Dome, and you very publicly were torn, even emotional about your vote, which ultimately was present. You put out a statement saying that you opposed Iron Dome funding. I wonder, given everything that we've seen in this last week, the Iron Dome has essentially intercepted thousands of rockets from Hamas. Do you believe now that funding is essential? Would you vote for it today?
And to be clear, at that time, I had voted present on the Iron Dome funding because of what we had seen previously that year in terms of Netanyahu's decisions, which also resulted in the bombing of several buildings that contain media agencies, civilian targets. However, I do think that in this present moment, when we discuss support for Israeli defense systems, that is absolutely legitimate. I think
she's on the side of the Israeli military.
However,
she's on the side of the Israeli military.
I think this sunscreen initiative I'm working on is a little more important right now.
She's on the side. That's what she just said.
It is absolutely something that whose support we can.
So you would vote yes today if it came to the United States Congress, additional funding for the Iron Dome?
I think if it was explicitly around that. I have concerns about white phosphorus. I have concerns about the respect for about human rights and ensuring that we have humanitarian aid going through. But on the sole principle of Iron Dome and defense, I absolutely think there's an openness for sure.
I want to get you.
What? What is that? I think there's an openness for sure.
Openness.
I said this before.
Mean that she would vote
present. Say genocide. I told you I was present.
I'm present. So, and I have another video of her saying that she definitely believes Israel has a right to exist. So, you know how Israel exists? Because England gave that land, someone else's land, to the Zionists to start a country. They had no right to give that land to the Zionists to start a country, but they did it. Why? Why are they? Because why? Nobody knows why.
Well, I won't hold that
so
against
they don't
them.
have a right. That's this idea that they have a right to exist. They don't have a right. They weren't a real country. They were a country invented by England that gave them that land. There's got no right to that land. Go ahead.
Listen, might makes right. The reason we have
might right.
I don't know if you know, it's how we got this great country. It was a very similar story, but
that's right.
We ain't
giving it back.
But they like. It's a stupid question if you have a right to exist. Most countries probably don't if you look into it too far. They do exist. What I don't get is why they have a right to an ethno-state. Because I thought Judaism was a religion, and I thought the idea that it was both a race and a religion came from Hitler. So it's fucking crazy. For example, had I converted to Judaism when I was dating an Israeli girl, I'm pretty sure after I converted, I could have went to Israel to claim my birthright and push somebody out of their house. If I converted, I'm pretty sure I could have.
You could have. Well, here's very close to what you're talking about. This guy, John Reston, says, this is tantamount to saying that if an armed assailant forced you and your children out of your home at gunpoint, it would be legitimate for him to then defend himself when you returned and used lethal force to extract him from your home. Very broken logic. So do you follow that?
No, I didn't.
So if the Israelis came and kicked all the Palestinians out of their home, and then the people who got kicked out of their home came back to fight them, you said, oh, they have a right to defend themselves against you trying to get your home back.
Mine's way better. I said, okay, if some crazy guy attacks me on the street, okay, I have a right to starve 3 generations of his family and brag about it on the news openly with absolutely no shame. Self-defense.
Yours is way better.
Because I didn't really follow that.
Okay, it was hard to follow, but yours is way better.
It's important to me.
All right, that's it for today. We got to go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Palm Springs on Saturday. You're going to be in Palm Springs on Saturday? So
Hey,
we're not going to be back there until 2025. I'm telling you right now. Or
It's like a
2026. 2026, we're not going to be back in Palm Springs. Hey, come see us live on tour in Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Berlin, Copenhagen, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, right outside Pittsburgh, El Paso, and San Antonio, Texas. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.